All right, guys. So, first of all, here's what I want to do. I want you guys just to take a minute and put in the chat what you're feeling this morning after the announcement last night. Like, we've had a little bit of time to digest it, we have had a little bit of time to think on it. And yes, I'm seeing exciting, shook, blessed, hopeful, and excited, optimistic, grateful, all those things that I'm feeling too. I literally um, so I went into Dallas when they had all the diamonds come. I kind of went into Dallas with a little bit of an idea of what we were going to be told. But in full disclosure, I've worked in the corporate world for a long time, and I've been called into meetings where change is going to happen. Have you guys ever been called into a meeting at work where change is going to happen? And it's some of those meetings I have found out, well, in one in particular, I found out my entire I was the director over a specific part of this agency. The entire part of my agency was going to be gone. They were laying off all of my employees. And so I've been called into meetings lots of times, and change usually is bad. That's what we're accustomed to. Change is usually someone's losing their job, someone's going to get paid less, something's going to happen. It's not good. So when I went into Dallas, I love Plexus, so I was very hopeful, but I remembered leaving stunned, thinking, "Oh my gosh, like where's the bad part?" Like I was just waiting for them at the end of the meeting to say, "Oh, wait, by the way, here's the bad part." But it never came. It was just so good. Yeah, okay. See, you guys have had those experiences before. Yeah, she said I work for a company that had heavily promoted meeting and it was to announce they were closing. Yeah, I've been there in those meetings. It's horrible. Um and so it just I know when I came in, and some of you guys have been with Plexus even longer than I have. When I came in, we didn't get pay points on 109. Well, actually, we didn't get pay points on any welcome packs, period. Then we got pay points on the 199, now 209 welcome packs. Then we got pay points on the 109 welcome packs. And so to think where this compensation plan was from when I first joined, and some of you guys have been around even probably longer than I have, that have seen even more drastic changes, it just amazes me and it blows my mind. And I remembered when we were in Dallas, I was literally sitting there thinking about the individual people on my team. And you guys may have had this experience too. I was literally thinking, oh my gosh, so and so is going to be able to rank up to this. I've got girls on my team running for Emerald. This is going to help push them to Emerald. Like it just, I was thinking about these individual people on my team and what their goals are and what they're working for. And it's just amazing. And Christina, I'm glad you talked about that. She talked about losing preferred customer bonuses. And it is, for some people, it's a little bit of a shift. If you have a very customer heavy team, a very customer heavy focus, but with the two phases of changes, so phase 1 and phase 2, it's going to make so much more sense. Like I'm thinking about phase 2 even. And let me also say this, if you're overwhelmed right now, in Dallas, we had 2 full days to digest this as diamonds, and we've had numerous calls. So if you feel a little overwhelmed, don't worry. You are going, by the time phase 2 rolls around, you're going to feel like a pro. But the biggest thing that I got when watching that, if you watch that enrollment flow, is it's going to make sense for people. Like, don't you love that? When you refer someone, it's going to make sense to them. Who is so dang tired of having the conversation of, I know it says ambassador, but you're just getting wholesale pricing. Or I know you don't want to sell, but you have to enter your social in, like just to get wholesale pricing. Like there's so many hurdles, and this takes those hurdles away, and it just makes sense. And one of the cool things that I don't even know that they really focused on last night that I want you guys to hear out, when someone enrolls and they refer as a VIP customer, so I'm going to jump to phase 2 just for a second. So in phase 2, if someone enrolls as a VIP customer and they decide to refer someone and take that product credit, that person becomes your level 1. Did you guys catch that? That person becomes your level 1. so they don't get lost in the shuffle. How many times have you guys had someone say, sure, I'll refer a couple of people, and they have no intention of working the business. They just want to get their products paid for. And those people that they sign somehow get lost unless you're just really good at tap rooting. And so they're going to stay in your back office as a level one unless that person decides to become a brand ambassador. So they're now going to get the focus that they need and deserve. And I loved that because it literally benefits our potentials. It benefits our current ambassador. If their VIP person then signs up as a brand ambassador, then they go back under them. But there is a time limit on that. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't know for sure. There was a big discussion. They can't come in a year later and take a whole team of people. It's not going to work that way. There's going to be a limited amount of time that they could decide to become a brand ambassador, and then kind of their team would shift back under them. But there is a time limit on that. Yes, and retail customers still count for our PV. So you can still have retail customers. In full disclosure, if I ever get customers, they tend to be retail because usually they're afraid of the subscription, which also comes with preferred. And so they're like, I just want retail or wholesale. That's usually what I end up having. Okay, last night they said senior silver. Okay, I might have missed that part. There was debate whenever we initially started talking about this as to what point, because you don't want someone to come in and take a whole Ruby team below them or something and have that decompression happen. So anyway, I'm super excited about it. I feel so grateful. I cannot wait. June? Oh my gosh. Like, people are just going to wake up with more points than they've ever had. Is that not crazy and amazing? Like, what in the world? Just going to wake up and have more points. Like, I have some rock star recruiters on my team. They're going to get an extra point for every level 1. Heck, that is going to add up so quickly. Like, that is insanely amazing. But May is not over. And let me tell you this, how you end your month now is going to determine how you start June. So they said this last night on the call, and I'm going to reiterate it. Do not just say, well, I'm just going to hang out till, the end of May, whatever, not a big deal. And then on June 1st, I'll start working my business. Because if you've ever rolled a ball, it is something heavy or pushed something heavy, it's a lot easier once you get it going to keep it going than to stop and restart. So use this right now to catapult your team into momentum. I've been mapping out some things with my team even before this, and even before I could tell them what was going on. And I've done like 6-week map out plans with them. So I was already focusing on making the end of May a part of June. Because if you go on and enroll people now, so let's say you enroll people now, obviously you're still going to try to get them to order 100 PV in June. But even if they fall below 100 PV in June, you're going to get those points plus enrolling even more people. So don't have a scarcity mindset around enrolling to say, well, if I wait to enroll them June 1st, I get an extra point. But if I enroll them now, I'm going to lose all my people and I won't have anyone to enroll. Anytime you find yourself thinking there's no one or everyone, that's a scarcity mindset thing. Do not have scarcity mindset around this, okay? We're just going to start working. People are going to join when they're going to join anyway, but don't just assume that you can wait until June and get those people to join. So, first thing that we are going to focus on is interacting with people, because if you want to enroll people, you have to be actively building relationships. We talk about this all the time. If you were on the Power Hour on Monday, Jen Leaf had you guys go through all of your people. I think it was A through, does anybody remember what that A through E? Or as far as you got, I'm not sure. I can't remember. But what I'm going to have you guys do today is get on Facebook and just go at the top of your stories and start clicking through. You can start at the first person story, and I want you to watch people's stories and try to respond to their stories, because that goes straight. It was just A. Okay. That goes straight into their messenger, and that allows you to start conversations. I've developed entire friendships with people who became ambassadors all because I started responding to their stories and building relationships with them there. And I want you to be mindful as you're going through your stories, whose stories are showing up. So if you start on that first one, does everybody know what I'm talking about? If you don't, put it in the chat and I'll explain a little better. But if you get on Facebook, your stories are up at the top. Click on that first one, just go straight through, just click through, try to find a reason to respond. Oh my gosh, I love your new dog, it's so cute. Or, oh my gosh, your trip looks so fun, where did you guys stay in Florida? Anything you can do to spark a conversation. If you're finding that all you're seeing is your downline or other Plexus people, you need to start unfollowing some people. So your social media is for business. We're going to run it like a business. And so it's really fun to see your, whatever, whoever's doing what, but just don't spend your time there. We want to spend our time wisely. So go ahead and start unfollowing people if you're finding that they're in your story and you just know they're not a good fit for your business or they're already on your team. You can be intentional about interacting with your team by going straight to their page. But for right now, we're going to go straight through stories and interact and send messages to as many people as possible. If you guys have questions, just put it in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself. Right now, we're just doing stories, Lisa, but if you have someone that you intentionally want to interact with, then you can go straight to their page and try to find a reason to interact with them on their page. But right now, we're just doing people that have stories. And you may even find some people in your stories that you've never interacted with before. So, and make sure that if you're messaging them and you see stuff in their stories and you start a conversation, write their name down so that you remember to go back with them and continue interacting with them. Quick note, I told you guys that you can unfollow people. You can also, if someone pops up on your stories and you just don't want to see their stories, like when you're clicking through, there's those three little lines at the top. If you click that, there's a mute stories button, and you can always undo that at any point. But I just think it makes it more efficient if I'm trying to run through stories real fast and respond to as many people, because we want to be able to work our business in the most efficient amount of time possible. So it just is easier for me if I just go ahead and mute their story. I mean, they go to someone would ask if the reactions help at all. They do, I think, to some degree, but Facebook really understands a connection when you guys are in Messenger with each other, like actually conversing back and forth. That's when when Facebook says, "Oh, hey, there's a connection here. I need to show them each other's stuff." So, oh, you can do Instagram or Facebook. I think it's pretty much the same principle. Either way. So you can do Instagram or Facebook. I just default to Facebook because that's where I've built most of my business, and Instagram is still a work in progress for me. But yeah, same principle. I try to find a reason to message. I mean, you don't want to be a creeper and just like messaging random stuff. Like, you want it to be something of value. For example, there's a girl on my page that she's been on my dream team list for a while now, and she's getting married soon. And so I had seen her post recently something along the lines of like, it wouldn't be she was waiting on a package and it wouldn't be at her house in enough time for her to leave to travel for her wedding. And so today she was talking about her wedding in her stories, and I messaged and said, "Are you guys having a destination wedding? Like, I thought I saw that on a post recently." And so it's just me trying to show that like I'm taking genuine interest in her life. And I asked a question to get her to respond. So of course she's going to say yes or no. And if she says yes, I can say, "Oh my gosh, where are you traveling to?" And we can just have this whole conversation that way. So I try to make sure that if I respond, it's something of value. I'm asking something, where did you get that little toy? My kids would love that, or something along those lines. All right, guys. So, like I said, interacting with people is super, super important. If you are stuck in your recruiting, you're probably missing the relationship building steps in your business. So, if you are finding yourself like no one's messaging me saying they're interested, you just feel like you're stalling out, then I want you to really look and see, are you building relationships with people? I have a list in the back of my notebook of people that I am actively building a relationship with because I want them to join the business. So if you have that list, I want you guys to pull it out and we're going to specifically go interact with those people. If you do not have that list, I would strongly encourage you over the next 10 minutes to start making that list. And it's going to be, and I'm going to challenge you to do something too. So we can all think of people on our network that we're like, my gosh, like I want her to do this business. You guys ever have those people where you're like, oh, come on, like you would be so great at this? I'm going to challenge you to write, when you're thinking about these people, write down next to their name, why would they want this business? Why would they want this business? Why would they care? There's a girl in my network that I would love for her to join me. Love for her to join me. And I know that social media is, it's always our highlight reel, but like this girl has a ton of money. I know her family has a ton of money and she seems to love her job. So as much as I want her to join my business, she's not a mom, she doesn't have kids. She never posts about any health issues. So as much as I think, wow, if she would ever do this, she has a ton of influence, like she would do well. I haven't yet figured out why she would even want this business. Like maybe she just loves her life as it is. And so I can't post things or share things that would appeal to her about the business if I don't know what her motivation would be. So as you're writing your dream team list, start trying to look for clues in their post, or just maybe you know them personally as to why they would even care about this business, so that you can start doing posts that are targeted towards them. So if you know you have someone who works as a nurse and they would love to walk away from their job as a nurse because they're tired and they never get to see their kids, you could post some testimonies or some things that would appeal to them. So for right now, I want you guys to look at your dream team list and go interact with those people on their story or a recent post. If you don't have that dream team list, I want you to start making sure that you have that list of 10 to 20, I would say at least 20 people that you really want to do this business with. All right, guys. So we're going to shift gears for just a minute. We're going to shift to our current ambassadors and our current team. We want to keep the excitement going with our team. And I've said this before, and you guys may have heard me say this. I genuinely feel like most people want this business. Like, even when they tell you, I don't have time, or most of the time it comes down to they don't believe in themselves. Period. That's usually what the concern is. They just don't believe in themselves. And a lot of times people struggle with seeing a long term vision. And I didn't say this earlier, and I will say this. Kudos to you guys for being on these power hours. Like, you guys are carving out the time to do this. There are lots of people that should have been on this call and could have been on this call, and they chose not to. And you guys are here and you're showing up in your business. So you guys have the belief, you guys have the goods, you guys have the vision, but we need to bleed that onto other people. We always want to be bleeding belief, it's hard to say, onto our team. So we have these huge changes. You guys told me earlier you feel grateful, blessed, excited, all those things. So what I want you guys to do is take a minute and look at your team. Who on your team needs an injection of belief? Who on your team needed these comp plan changes? Who on your team can now take this and either start to re-rank or rank up? Who on your team is going to be immensely blessed by this? And I want you to send them a message, and I want you to tell them, like, I am still freaking out about these changes that they announced last night. And as soon as I heard these changes, I immediately thought about you, because now I know you and I can partner together and we can help you re-rank gold. We can help you run for senior gold. We can help you run for senior ruby, wherever it is that they're at. But they probably just need to know that somebody's in their corner and somebody believes in them. And I'm going to challenge you when you reach out to these people to invite them to hop on a call with you so you guys can start game planning something for them. And I don't care if you're on this call and you're silver. I don't care what rank you are. I don't care if you've never done coaching calls. Get used to doing coaching calls, because let me tell you what coaching calls are. They are not you having all the answers. They are you partnering with your ambassador to brainstorm and map some things out. Okay. It's not them sitting on the call saying, okay, Tiffany, what do I do? I don't know what to do. It's okay. You're at 100 points. You want to get to 250 points. How can we do that? Who can we get to silver on your team? Who can we get to start sharing? Who on your team is senior silver that we can help them get to gold? That's all you're doing, is looking for what everyone's next step is. But the first step is going to be, you need to reach out to them, let them know you're in their corner, you're excited for them, you believe in them, and that you want to partner with them going into June to help them reach their goals. Okay? Be excited, send it in a voice message so they can hear your excitement. Or if you can't send it in a voice message, at least try to type it out, something really excited and something that's going to make them feel like, gosh, she believes in me. She sees something in me. Because let me tell you, a lot of times on this journey, that's all that kept me going, is that somebody in my upline saw something in me. Because all I could see was, I've lost my rank, everybody's quitting, I can't do this, this is too hard. But somebody would say, Tiffany, I see you, like, you can do this, I believe in you. And so we're going to give people that. Rebecca, the first task was to go through your stories and to interact with as many people as you could that are non-plexus, and just find reasons to interact with them and get in their inbox. I'm going to put just the little kind of bit of a script that I just said out loud in the chat. But you guys, of course, just make it your own, okay? If you're not super confident with game planning with your people, will you guys let me know that in the chat? If you guys aren't super comfortable with that, we can spend the last 10 minutes and I can just kind of briefly show you how I game plan with my ambassadors. But if you guys feel comfortable with that, then we'll do something else. Okay. Okay, we're going to take about the next 10 minutes then for you guys to reach out to those people. And I'll take like the last 10 minutes and kind of show you guys how I game plan with my ambassador. I also wanted to squeak in something just really quickly while you guys are working on that. So corporate is now doing opportunity calls. Did you guys know this? I did not know this till yesterday. I hopped on with my business coach, Jade, and she was telling me, and I'm one of those people that like, so I like to see that things work. Okay. So I'm just going to, in full disclosure, I'm like, you know, whatever, I'll do it. But then when someone says like, hey, this really works, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on board. So I was talking to Jade, which is my business coach, and she was telling me that like Canada's been doing these for a while and they're at like 50% over projections for enrollments because of these opportunity calls. I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. And so in the process, I volunteered myself to speak on 2 of them, but it was fun because I was really excited about it. So these opportunity calls are, so there's one at noon today or 11 Central. So one today, 9 Pacific, 10 Mountain, 11 Central, noon Eastern. And then there's one tonight at 8 Central, 9 Eastern. And then there's one again tomorrow at noon. I'm speaking on the ones at noon, tomorrow and Friday. But anyway, they're really great. She said that Genevieve on one of them the other day closed 9 people before the half-hour phone call was over. Like they legit joined on the call because Genevieve is amazing. Oh, yay. Tina said she signed someone up with one. So I wanted to throw that out there to you guys. I'm not going to focus on that on this power hour, but they did just send us a script that Genevieve had posted to send people. I'm going to put that script in the comments. So after this power hour is over, take some time and invite some people to one of these calls because like I said, they're at noon and they're at 11 Central and then 8 Central at night for the next few days. So it's by Plexus. Corporate is running them. I don't know about, I guess Canada's kind of been doing their own thing for a while. If anybody else in Canada has information on that, will you guys either unmute yourself or put that in the chat? I'm not sure specifically on what they're doing, but I guess maybe they're combining. I'm not sure.
I'm Canadian. I don't have a Canadian upline. So I follow a lot of Canadians to try to get information. So if someone can kind of message me and tell me where to find that, because I don't hear about a lot of that stuff and all my team is Canadian. So I would like to know more about what's going on in Canada. So if somebody wants to send me a little hookup, that would be awesome.
Tony, there's a link for it. Sorry. There is a link for the calls. I don't know if it's the same link for every call. But I can send you guys the link that I have.
They said the link would stay the same each time.
Okay. Well, I will post the link in the chat comments and I'll post the script that they sent us to for these. So anyway, work on messaging your people and then the last 10 minutes I'll do a little mapping training for you guys. Okay, I just posted the invite verbiage that Genevieve sent and the link. I will make another post on Jen Leith's team page with the graphics for each call so that you guys have that as well. Okay, so you don't have to remember like what I said. I've tried to find where they've posted it, and I feel like corporate's kind of dropped the ball on that because I had to work really hard to find it. So it's been in the new Ambassador Academy page is where I found more of the information, but I will post all of the graphics, and I will post this link again and the verbiage on Jen Leith's team page for you guys, because I think pretty much everybody's there, right? I was trying to drop it here, but it won't let me drop the picture, so I'll have to just put them on her team page. Sorry, guys. So I just wanted to share something with you guys. Like, this almost never works in real time. So there's this girl. I'm not gonna get really in depth, but so I used to work as a mental health therapist, and there was a girl that I somehow found in a social work group. We had the same licensure, and I found her like, yeah, probably 2 years ago ish. And I added her, and I've literally built a relationship with her forever. I mean, forever. And I've even approached her about Plexus off and on. So when we were going through our stories and interacting, I interacted on her story, and I was talking about her kids because our boys are kind of close in age. She literally said, "Thank you. By the way, I want to talk more about Plexus." So literally it worked in real time. So I'm just saying it's worth it. Oh yeah, I don't know that I'm in that group, Christina. You guys are welcome to add me. But yeah, see, interacting works. I've literally built a relationship with this girl playing the long game forever and ever and ever, because I knew she was super influential. And literally, finally today, I interacted with her about her kids, and she wanted to know about Plexus. Thank you, Tabitha. Okay, I'll drop them in that group, and then I'll do a little game planning thing. All right, guys. So I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So what I do is, let me grab a notebook so I can kind of show you guys. So when I get on a call with my people, if I'm not in person with them, I will have them get just like a notebook paper, just like this. If they're doing it themselves, I have them write it down while I'm writing it down, because I think it's just helpful for me to go back and reference, because when you do coach a lot of people, sometimes I'll be like, is that the girl that, no, that's a different team. So it's just helpful if you have it. So what I will do is the first thing is I will do is look at what they ended their points at. These are really good to do. Yes, Sarah, it does. Yeah. And when I realized that, if you have a ton of plexus people, sorry, Sarah just said she realized they were all plexus people. If you, whoever you have in your stories is probably who's seeing your post too. So if you're not getting like very much interaction, it's probably just plexus people seeing your post. So, I will write what they ended their points at up like in the top left corner of the page so that I know where we're starting at. And then in the top right corner, I write where we need to go. So if they ended at 100 points and they want to get to, well, let's just say they ended at 200 points. So they ended at 200 points. I'm going to write that in the top left. And then I'm going to put like, Tiffany is senior gold, and we're going to write 250. So we know if we end at like 200, we need 250, we need 50 points. We're going to have a little bit of attrition. There is no exact number on that. 10% is kind of a safe place. Oh, yay. See, it works. So 10% is kind of a safe place. So if they ended at 200, you're going to estimate they're roughly going to lose about 10% of that in just natural attrition. And then you're going to write that number down. So that's going to be your goal. So we have to know what we need in order to know how to get there. So you're going to write down what they need. Now, how are we going to get there? So the first question that you're going to ask is, how many people are you committed to signing yourself over the next 4 weeks, whatever the period is that you guys are looking at for that goal? Is that an exact science? No. Are they going to be a little scared? Yeah, because who wants to really commit to that? But sometimes you can get it to line up. So with success sprints, you know, we need 6 people in order to get that top prize. So you can also use that as kind of a guide. I like to try to have them push for like 3 to 6. I think that's a really good number. And you kind of know if they're a really high recruiter, 3 may be nothing for them. Push them out of their comfort zone. If they don't recruit very well, 3 might be huge for them. So you're going to have to kind of look and see. And then I ask, what are you working on in order to recruit? And I think it empowers people to really think about their business, because we know recruiting is an active process, right? It's not, we can't just post and pray. That's not a good method. So what are you doing to try to recruit them this month? Are you, they may say, I'm interacting on stories, I'm in Facebook groups, I'm growing my network, I have a list of 20 people I interact with regularly. If you have an idea of something in that process, offer that up to them. Like, hey, so-and-so has been trying this and it's been working really well. Maybe try that if they're struggling with recruiting. Maybe that you could do a messenger event with them. Because the other thing is asking, how can I support you? How can I support you in this? So how many are you dedicated to recruiting? And if they say 3, you write 3 blank lines. 3 blank lines, because as they recruit, they're going to fill that in. If it's 6, you write 6 blank lines. So then you know how many points came from those people. So you're going to take how many points you need. So if you're looking at they need 100 or they need 60 points to rank up, let's just say that. I'm not good at math, so just don't expect my math skills to be good. But if they need 60 points, look at how many they said they were committed to recruiting. Now you're going to times it by 6. Hello, praise Jesus. So you're going to times that by 6. How many points is that? Okay, so how many more points do we need? Now, who on your team, so we're going to move down to the next line, who on your team can we help go silver? So she might say, well, Betty really loves her products. Like, she's having great results. Great. Is Betty sharing yet? Not yet. Why don't we talk to Betty about getting to silver this month and getting her products paid for? And then you're going to game plan for Betty, and you're going to write 3 lines under Betty's name because she's going to add 3 people. Why would Betty care about going silver? Well, she really needs to get her products paid for. You know, she doesn't have a lot of income. She's kind of just on her retirement income. Great. Let's talk about that. Let's send Betty a message. Hey, Betty, I know that you've talked about how you love these products, but you were a little concerned about the income. You're having great results. I would love to partner with you and help you get your products paid for. Is that something you're open to? So now we're working to get Betty silver. So you're going to see how many silvers, thank you, Sarah. You're going to see how many silvers that you can get them to, how many people you can help them get to silver. It's not going to be perfect. It's not always going to work out, but I think sometimes we get stuck in like, well, I just hope they get to silver. I'm going to post and I'm going to pray that the people come, and I'm going to pray that these people just want to get to silver, and it's just going to be magic. And it just doesn't work that way. We have to have a plan. Sometimes we got to start the ball rolling. So after you look at the silvers who could possibly get to silver, what are we going to do to help them get silver? Would she be open to an event? Maybe somebody's already been sharing and they've got a lot of potentials, but they're not closing. Can we plan a messenger event? And then ask that person, how can I support you in doing a messenger event for them? Do you need me to record a video? What can I do to support you? But you're empowering them to take the reins on that. You're supporting them in helping their team. And then you're going to move down to the next group of people, which is who else is already silver, but could possibly rank up even further. So who is running for senior silver? Great. How many people do they need to get to senior silver? Great. What can we do to help Sandy get to senior silver? Could we do a messenger event? Could we host a call for her team? Does she have anyone on her team who's working to get to silver? Does this make sense for you guys, how we kind of break this down? I think when people are afraid of coaching calls, they're afraid that they're not going to have the answers. If you guys have ever felt that way, let me know. I felt that way. Like, what if I don't know how to get her to gold? I don't know. Just post and, but your job is not to give all the answers. Your job is to help them critically think. Even, I don't care what rank you are, if you can rise up leaders on your team now, you will have a much more stable business and you won't be a jewel still hand holding all the time. So I ask people first, what are you doing right now? What's working well for you? What do you think could use some improvement? What can we do? I ask a lot of questions. I don't just hop on the phone and say, all right, here's what we're going to do. You're going to do blah, 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 blah. That's not how I handle it because I want them to critically think. Now, like I said, if I have something that I can offer to them, if I have something that I can say, hey, I was on a call because we all collect information, right? So I might say, hey, one of my sideline sisters said her team is doing this. That might be great for you guys. If I have something, I will offer it. Or I will say, have you done a messenger event? Have you invited your people to an opportunity call? Have you done this? And just kind of get them thinking. But your job is not just to sit and give answers. Your job is to help people critically think. And most of the time when you do these, people are going to walk away. They have paper in hand. They have blanks written out, something to fill in and something to do and a direction to go in. And it's so empowering for people. It's so empowering. And you can do this for yourself. You can do this for yourself, for your own team. And I would encourage you, if you don't have an upline that does this with you, you can do this yourself. Sit down. What is your rank goal? How many points do you need? And ask yourself these questions. Who can I get to silver? Why would she care? Make sure you ask yourself why as you're going through. Why does she care? Because if you're meandering around with no why, then you're not going to get very far. So if you know that Betty has a kid on the way, I don't know where I get these names from, I just make stuff up. But if you know that somebody is if you know that somebody on your team is pregnant and they don't want to go back to work after they have this baby, then that's what you need to say. Listen, sister, I know you don't want to go back to work after this baby's born. This is our she's not going back to work after the baby's born's plan. That's what this is. You got to have a why. You got to help people see that, because this business is hard. People are going to quit. People are going to do all the things. But I remember for me, I didn't feel like working this business a lot. I had a full-time job. I had kids. I had stuff going on. So every night when I would sit down to work my business, I would imagine and think about what my life was going to look like because of this business, and imagine my goals coming true. So get to know your people's why, and then help them understand their people's why, so that they can then use that as a goal and as a motivation. So does anybody have any questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself or put it in the chat. I saw you guys say this is really helpful. I'm glad this is helpful for you guys. I did not invent this method. It was really helpful for me when I was taught this method too. And it's something that I'm doing with my team, and my team really loves it too. So, all right, guys. Well, end of the month, we still have a few days left. We are running into June. We're not going to just sit around and wait for June. So Katie asked for people that have said no to sharing but need products paid for. So here's what I say to people. So I will say, like, hey, I know you love these products. I know how important they are. We have an amazing referral program, and I can walk you through this step by step. Most of the time people are scared to share because they're scared that what if no one comments? What if I don't know what to do? What if they ask me what's in the pink drink and I don't know? So the biggest thing I tell my people is, I'm going to do this with you. You're going to put me in three-way messages, and I'm going to talk to these people. I'm going to help walk them through signing up. I'm going to help. That's what I say a lot. Oh, I love that. Tabitha says, will you be my guinea pig? I love that. Oh, Jordan Roddenberry. She's the best, isn't she? I did a team call for her. It's one of my favorites. She's so fun. I love that. Yeah. Being bold about it. Listen, people love to be told what to do, y'all. I know that's controversial, but people love to be told what to do. Like, girl, listen, we're doing this together and it's going to be great. And the whole while you're like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but you don't tell them that. You're just like, it's amazing. It's going to be great. So, all right, guys, I will see you all soon.